Hey Cancer, thanks for watching. So this video is about the new moon in Aquarius for 2017, which peaked on January 27th at 7:07 on the East Coast and 4:07 on p.m. on the West Coast. If you're GMT or beyond, then that would be 12:07 a.m. on the 28th. So we're looking at the new moon and how it affects you. And this new moon at 8 degrees Aquarius is speaking to, for you, or highlighting basically like a new beginning around your 8th house. And the 8th house speaks to everything that has to do with transformative experiences, which can look like a lot of different things, but oftentimes this has to do with going through what we owe others, or what is owed to us, whether that is financial or other things. Oftentimes this can come up through again, transformative experiences. So whether that's through can be represented through sex, or life and death situations, like the birth of a child or someone passing away. But this can also be seen through like I said, like sexual experiences, or just deep intimacy, or finding that deep intimacy within yourself. Also, we see, so like I said, money that's, like, it doesn't have to be debt, but money that's owed to you, or money that is paid to you, oftentimes in a lump sum in this house. So that would be looking like inheritances, oftentimes through life and death situations, as well as, or even, sorry, that was my stove going off, or even experiences that have to do with scholarships, bursaries, loans, payouts from the government, benefits of in kind, or benefits from or because of a partner or a spouse. So we see a focus around that, and an opportunity to grow from this. And generally, when the new moon comes around, it's asking us to bring more of that quality of the sign that it's in. So this new moon in Aquarius is really asking each one of us to bring out qualities that have to do with who we are uniquely, and what we can serve, and what we do serve by just being ourselves. And obviously that one serves ourselves, but also other people and people in our communities. So really being yourself is an inspiration, and that's what Aquarius says. So how you can do that for this new moon is really through these transformative experiences of just showing and sharing of who you are and being yourself. So looking at the 1st and the 2nd of the month, Mercury in Capricorn speaks to conversations around your 7th house, or your partnerships. So this can be love relationships, also just business partnerships or business relationships, people that you have contractual obligations to, or agreements with. So we have conversations around these types of partnerships, and they're kind of having a tight conversation with the changes that have been happening in your 10th house, so in your career basically, and your status in life, in your society, like and as well in your society. So how you show up, and how you are represented as a leader basically, and or a CEO. So there have been a lot of changes in this area of your life since 2011, and will continue until next year. But we see this conversation around your partner, and the challenge there may be when faced with the changes in your personal career. So, and then the next day, excuse me, we have the same conversation happening around your partner, but this time it's in challenge or conversation with the growth or the expansion that has been happening in your fourth house. So this is your home, the growth and the expansion that is happening around even the mother, your homeland, things that are happening in your hometown. And just the connections that you have to your family of origin, basically, and conversations, and there may be a little bit of tight conversations and conflict around that. So moving into the February the 3rd, Venus enters Aries on, and this for you is your 10th house. And for your 10th house, this is a great blessing, and basically a show of appreciation for you, which I could kind of see around next Friday. So February the 3rd, probably from your work, most likely from your work. But it can be from people that just recognize you as a leader, just appreciation for who you are and for what you do, and thanks and accolades in that sense. So then we have, moving on to February the 6th, Jupiter is turning retrograde in Libra. That's so your fourth house again. So the previous conversations that we had, we now have revisions and conversations about what we need to do to adjust in your fourth house, in your home, around your mother, around your homeland, around your hometown, and around your family of origin. So your upbringing as well, and just trying to, through this point, looking at the growth that you've had since the beginning of this transit. So that would have been the beginning of fall, basically, of 2016. And because we're at the midpoint now. So looking at the growth that you have gone through and the growth that you kind of hope to continue in the home, in the area of home, and with the mother and hometown and those topics. So moving on to February the 10th, the lunar eclipse in Leo is in your second house. And for you, this represents the money that you bring in, and how the money that you bring in is related to your self-worth. And so February 10th, like I was saying, sorry, I had to do a quick change, or do a change. So February 10th has you looking at the lunar eclipse in Leo, and for you, this is your second house of finance. But like I was saying, this finance house is really related to your self-worth and how you feel about yourself. So if you're, like I was saying, if you're doing, if you feel like you're financially doing well, then that means your self-worth is increasing, and vice versa. So if you're not feeling as well about what you're doing, or as focused around what it is that you're offering, then this can affect your self-worth as well. So there can be an ending, but oftentimes often as we know, there is an ending, there is also a beginning. So this could signify a beginning in relation to, I do see a lot of changes in February that are happening, specifically related to bringing more of who you are. I mean, that's what Aquarian is the new moon in Aquarius is asking us to do. So bring more of ourselves, and I feel like this ending around the second house, so salary connected to that, might be affected in some way, but only to bring forward a new beginning. So moving on to February the 18th, the sun enters Pisces, and so Pisces for you, yes, so Pisces for you is your 9th house, and this is focused on spirituality, or higher learning, which is often found through spirituality and or further education. So this could be post-secondary, or some other formal kind of education, but doesn't have to be. It could also be a workshop, or a certificate, or like a retreat that kind of speaks to something that is happening here. Also, there's 9th house focuses on long distance travel. So the sun entering this area of life is really bringing a focus to these issues. And then following up on that, on the heels of that, on the 26th is the new moon solar eclipse in Pisces. So that's just going to bring even more of an emphasis to your ninth house issues or topics of long distance travel, and this is travel overseas, being affected or learning through other cultures. This could also really be traveling the mind or gaining new philosophies. So this is like really a visionary aspect of the ninth house as well. So yeah, so that's it for the month for you. And if you have any questions or clarifications, don't hesitate to send me an email at raw_redemption@icloud.com, or you can just check out my website as well if you'd like your further reading to get more in depth into your birth chart and how things would really affect you individually. Thanks so much for watching. Hope to see you next month. Take care.